Okay. We should be live. Meow, 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 meow. I think everything is good. Some weird technical difficulties before the start of the stream. And weird. My bitrate's doing odd thing. I mean, I'm technically not dropping frames, but like I seem to be averaging a much higher bitrate than I have selected. I got 6,000, and like it's going to like 6,500 sometimes, which is not common. 6,700 right there. I don't know. Kinda iffy. You just finished watching the beach scene? Yeah. I drew it out a bit longer than needed to be because I was having fun with it. Also, I released a video this morning. I don't think anybody saw it. It's got like 0 views almost. Yeah, kind of understandable. I intended for it to be a short video. It was only going to be like 15 minutes long or so, but then I got like sucked up into the game. I ended up playing it for like over an hour. And, oops, sorry. I'll try to make another one where I only play it for like, you know, like one session or instead. I don't think it's as consumable in that huge time. Plus, my earpiece thing still hasn't arrived yet, so I have to basically, in order to get my headset on my head to have the cushioning, I basically have to put the foam over my ear and then put the headset on. Yeah. It kind of works though, so we're gonna go with it. You know, it sort of works. So last time on Dragon Ball Z, there was a lot of developments with this. I didn't have time to make I wanted to make a recap of this, but I didn't have time. I spent so much, like I wasted way too much time. I was not intending to play that vampire game for that long. I played it for 1,000,000 years. Like a half a century I spent on that game. I didn't intend on it. It's addictive. It's very addictive. Axel, you should play it, man. You should play it. I bet you'd love it. All right, so $3 game video. Yeah, $3, man. $3. Won't be able to buy a piece of candy for $3 in a few years with American money at least, and you can get this game. Is my audio fine? Like the computer was doing weird stuff. Sounds itchy. Trust me, you'll when you see it, you'll be like, all right, I gotta get this. Yeah, I meant to just play it for like one short like thing. I was gonna play like a few matches here. I ended up playing it for a few hours. Yeah, a little longer than intended. A little longer than intended. All right, so last time on Dragon Ball Z, I don't even remember. I've honestly forgotten. He's been disguised. Roland is now disguised as Maxwell. There were some betrayals that took place. Maybe I can remember by looking at this. Serenova refuses to surrender the prince. Oh, that's what happened. Oh my god, I'm on my third. This all happened in a short amount of time. Holy crap. That's crazy. All right. So last time on Dragon Ball Z, they were like, we should surrender Roland because we're about to be attacked. I'm like, I ain't surrendering, my friend. Are you out your damn mind? Are you out your mind? And I was like, no. And then we fought off the baddies. And worse, better than that, I mean, we fought off the baddies and we didn't have to burn down our town to do it. Because we had traps set up in our town. And it was like, oh, just burn down your own town and you'll kill the bad guys at the same time. It was like, no, my town. There's kitty cats that live in it. Impossibly. The party accepts Silvio's offer. Oh, that's right. And then that Silvio guy's like, oh, wow, they actually beat him. Oh, I got this diabolical plan. I'll go join them and make them an offer they can't refuse. And I'm like, you know what? Silvio's trying to backstab me. This is insanely likely, but you know what? I'll give him a chance. I'll give him a chance. Maybe he's not backstabbing me. And then the scene ends and he's like, wonderful, great news, great. I see you at my vineyard. And then it immediately, the narrator starts talking and they're like, and Silvio had ensnared them in his trap. And I'm like, oh, come on. You didn't even, immediately the narrator is like, you done effed up. Narrator is like, and the idiots actually accepted. So then Silvio betrayed us when we went to his vineyard, but we planned on him betraying us, so it wasn't that big a deal. We beat him up and we beat the people he hired. Then we came back here and now we find out that there's another dude, and the other dude's like, ah, man, this is from the Hazante kingdom. He's like, yo, I got y'all. I'll give you some money and some supplies. I know you guys are kind of short. You guys aren't doing well here. I'll give you guys the hookup. And then later on, he's like, oh, by the way, I got this illegal salt that I need traded over the border. Can you handle that for me? And now that's what we're doing here. We're voting on whether or not to do the salt deal. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This cup thing is really hard to deal with right now. Like, I really hope that my replacement arrives during the stream and I can have my headset working properly, because this is really hard to deal with here. Anyways, maybe that'll help here. Hopefully I'll stay for a while. And so the thing is, we would have to convince the entire Hazantian realm that he is doing this, and we don't have any evidence. That's the problem. We don't have any evidence, or we couldn't. So if we were like, oh, let's turn him in, instead we'll be the ones who get in trouble, because we have no evidence at all to present to them yet. So first we have to get a little evidence. We have to do some investigating first. So my decision was to go along with the salt deal for now and hopefully gather evidence, because we're in the middle of it, right? Hopefully gather the evidence on him and use that and turn him into the authorities of his kingdom. However, my people are really hard to convince. And I spent a huge amount of the stream trying to figure out how to get my convictions higher so that I can convince these people. And I did figure out some things in the meantime. So we cannot overlook Minister Sorsley's black market dealings, let alone be party to them. I know that it means that even more we'll have to go without salt in the duchy, but still, I believe we should go to Hazante and bring these crimes to light. So if I look underneath this, we should transport the salt to the duchies, it says right underneath it, I'd have better luck talking to a stone wall. I wasn't paying attention to that little text there, mostly because it's a bit harder for me to read the smaller text. So basically she's impossible to convince. Nothing I can say to her is going to change her mind. And all my people are like that except for one. Let's go through this. Please, Serenoa, I must know why you are opposed to exposing Minister Sorsley's crimes. Minister Sorsley is one of the Saintly Seven. Proving him guilty would be a struggle even with evidence. of which we have none. That's my exact argument. But also, I would follow up the argument by we could use this to gather more evidence on him. But there's no option for that. Indeed, Minister Sorsley's works has greater benefited the Hero Fund for many years. He must have great influence in the Holy State. If we went to them now, desperate as we are at lacking proof, there's a chance they would not believe us. Might we speak a little longer?
In that case,
I admit I am more than curious as to why you would make us an accomplice to the Minister Sorsley's illicit dealings. I've heard rumors of Minister Xearrik, though he looks reliable at first glance. I do not know if we can truly trust him. I don't know what that has to do with what she asked. Our relations with Aesfrost are strained enough as it is, and I would rather not make any more enemies if we can avoid it. I wish to know Aesfrost's true intentions. We might glean something new if we go there. We'll say that one, because the third one, I think they're trying to say something I don't understand. Hey, how's it going, Formula? Formula strategy? I too want to know what they're scheming, but our destination is enemy territory and our recipient unknown. I fear there is just too much at stake. Let us return to our own consuls, Frederica. I understand your feelings as I hope you understand mine. So I can't convince her.
We must decide.
And this spoiler alert, he has the same thing under his thing. Minister Sorsley is involved in tracking illegal salt. It would be in our best interest to expose him before we get any further involved. We may not escape entirely unscathed, but it must be done. All right, one moment, by the way. Here we go. Okay, so we're all set up. I'd have better luck talking to a stone wall. That means I just can't convince him. I see you believe we should follow Minister Sorsley's orders. Right now, House Wolford stands alone. We cannot risk losing Minister Sorsley's support. There is no guarantee we'll succeed in exposing Sorsley. And if we should fail, we would make enemies of both House Ind and Holy State itself. Regardless of his motives, we owe him a debt. No, the first one. The odds of appealing to those in power in another nation and succeeding are certainly not in our favor. We have enough enemies as it is. It would be wise of us not to earn ourselves any more. There is still time, Benedict. I would like to continue our discussion.
Certainly not.
Very well, my lord. It is safe to assume that you think exposing Minister Sorsley's crimes will be reckless or action. It is. We haven't sufficient information to take action. Minister Sorsley is no doubt. I doubt we would blindly trust us to carry out such an important ideal. Shaking Azante's faith in one of the Saintly Seven, it will be nigh impossible. First and the last one are both equal to me. But we have a clue. I think it too early for us to give up a fight yet. See, that's what I think. I'm not saying we shouldn't expose him. I'm just saying we should gather more evidence. You have made your position clear, Benedict. I only ask that you keep in mind my words.
Aye, lad.
I can't even imagine a proud and honorable house like ours committing a crime. We've got to go to Hazante and report the no-good minister. And once again, I'd have better luck talking to a stone. You're actually considered doing his dirty work. Why? We believe Minister Xearrik will help us find Minister Sorsley guilty. We ought to be careful of him. He is no doubt another trying to use us as his pawn. Mr. Sorsley is no fool. He'll beware of our betrayal. House Ind has given us money. No. This one. You never cease to amaze me, lad. Minister Xearrik is a man of bottomless ambition. Don't like the thought of that, but to be honest, If only there were a way House Wolfort would get by alone. I wish us not to party of these crimes if we can avoid it, but things are not so simple.
Consider
I'm afraid.
this.
I'm sure you've thought long and hard on it, but still just thinking of the dirty iron hands like this makes me sick to my stomach. This is the one I liked. Our accusations fall on deaf ears. We make an enemy of both House N and the Holy State if we risk to start far too great. Yeah, we don't have enough evidence. That'll leave House Wolfert and all on his lonesome. A troublesome thought indeed. I understand that, but still, it's just too damn difficult to accept. I need more time to think on it, and it won't be an easy decision either way. And lastly, the chosen one. You enjoying your coffee? $3 game is worth a lunch meal deal. I saw that comment. Yeah, I agree. Dude, wait till you guys see it, and if you try it yourself, you'll be like, yeah, this is $3. This is way more. This is good. This is what good video gaming looks like. If this was released on Nintendo, they'd charge $60 damn for it, and it would be overpriced as hell.
Lord Saranoa.
Some of the games Nintendo's been releasing recently should be $3 games, and if they were $3 games, I'd be like, oh my god, this game is so good, and it's so much value. Like, you definitely should be picking this game up, guys. But no, Fire Emblem Three Houses is $60 instead of $3. Pokemon Sword and Shield was $120 instead of $3. Transporting illicit salt or reporting Minister Sosley. Poor ambitions both. I wish we had an option of taking neither path. I live in a decision in leave the decision in your hands. Transport the salt. They will listen at the very least. Boom. Look at that. Not a brick wall, baby. So you believe it better than Mr. Sosley bidding, then may I ask why? If we know the way House N's illicit operations work, we might figure out a way to get the upper hand. Yes, and like expose him. See, it will be easier to find the cracks in their defenses from the inside, and it may even give us an opportunity to strike. If that is your aim, I think it well worth the risk. Is there anything else? There is. I cannot help wondering if the party to these acts would sully the Wolfert name. The words of outsiders likely mean little against the Saintly Seven. If we bring charges against Minister Sosley, he may just lay all the blame at our feet.
Certainly.
Certainly. The saint holds tremendous influence in Hazante. It certainly won't be easy to prove one of them guilty. On the contrary, they might use their position and power to indict us instead. An understandable situation, an undesirable situation indeed, and one I would rather not find ourselves in. Thank you, Lord Saranoa. I see now where you stand. Alright, here we go. Everyone else doesn't matter because they're already like, I can't convince them. I mean, I could try to change their mind, but why?
What
like,
do you
they'd be
need?
voting in the opposite direction I want them to vote. So these guys don't do the things. All right, here we go. The chosen one, please.
It is time to cast our votes. Do we follow Sorslay's orders and smuggle salt across our borders, or do we take another path? Approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
Ching.
Forgive me, my lord.
I hate what he says. You must leave me with no room to doubt. I guess that's like his generic, one of his generic disagreements. But I hate it. Because he clearly has doubt in the path he's chosen as well. So, like, why would, in order to change his mind, I have to leave him with no doubt? None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Well, you doubt your own your path right now. Surely what you mean to say is that you should have less doubt in my path than in your path. You failed me, Benedict Arnold. You defiled the holy scales of retribution. I mean, of benediction. I mean, of conviction with your foul vote.
Even still.
I am the chosen one. I'm sorry, Sarah Noah. Please understand. See, she doesn't at least come at me with some bullcrap saying she has to have no doubt. Here we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
I agree.
Yes! Bro, it took hours for me to convince her, dude. Anna, she came for us, man. She's on our side. She's with us, man. Anna all the way. So it's going to be a 4-3 vote.
Just can't see it your way.
Yep, just barely convincing Anna.
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
The holy scales of conviction shall illuminate the path we have chosen. Yeah! We did it! Whew. Damn, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. That was really hard to convince people to do.
The way forward is decided.
Boom.
We have no choice but to follow Sorslay's demands and bring the salt to Esfrost.
But we shall gather evidence on him as we do.
We have chosen our path. We shall do as Minister Sorsley asks and deliver the salt to Esfrost.
Yay! That took so long.
Now that we have a heading, we need only move forward. Let us make haste.
Let us make haste!
Indeed. No matter how perilous the road ahead may be, we must not falter.
Anna, begin the preparations.
As you wish.
Anna's the best. Oh, I should have been showing portraits. Hell yeah, save my game. You know how long it took for me to freaking convince these people? Gosh darn, that was a lot of work.
No good deed is the product of selflessness, and Minister Sorslay's intervention on the Wolfort's behalf is no exception. In exchange for their livelihoods, Serenoa and his entourage must transport Sorslay's illicit salt across their borders. With no pride left to bolster them, they have little choice but to obey. Preparations for the journey are a somber affair.
What? Why'd you phrase it like that? That's not how I imagine it. We're gonna still report him. We're just trying to gather more information.
The cart's ready, my lord.
As are the disguises. None will suspect us to be aught but common merchants.
Good. Then let us prepare for our departure.
Just look at what we've been reduced to. Skullduggery and deceit.
Skullduggery.
Whatever honor we had is losing its luster by the day.
No, don't think of it that Eridor. Like, it's like we're undercover investigators. 13 stories? Holy crap! We're gonna be here for a while. Alright, here we go. New characters? Yo! Oh, that's hype. Alright, let's start out with just a story, then we're gonna do a new character, okay?
Once we have stacked those sandbags, we should be well fortified against even the fiercest deluge.
Leave it to me. This old wolf has some vim in him yet.
The hell does Vim mean? Like vitality or something? Life? Damn. Define Vim.
Phew.
Energy,
Haven't used some of
enthusiasm.
those muscles since before I can remember.
Like, is this an archaic word though? Like, it's a 3-letter word. Surely it would be used more often. It must be an archaic word. Do people use the word them? People are using it in different ways. Yeah, people don't really use that word anymore, it looks like. Soft drink from Fallout 4.
I must say, when I saw the enormity of the task before us, I did not think we would finish in mere bells.
Yeah, I don't. Why would Vim fall out of popularity? That seems kind of weird. Like, why, like, vigor, vitality, enthusiasm. These words are all big words that are a lot more. To take that, maybe it's just that people think that in order to say a word that means energetic in some way, that it has to be a word that takes more energy to say, maybe? Like just saying Vim, they're like, ah, that's too simple. Vim is far too simple. Because normally language goes in the opposite direction, where it's simplified. Like there's no reason to use a word like copious, because copious is 3 syllables. Like you get copious. Like you have to fiddle around with your mouth to make that sound, or you could just say a lot. Like there's no, you don't even have to close your mouth. You just go a lot. You just move your tongue slightly. And so normally language goes in the opposite direction, but maybe it's just a word like vitality, enthusiasm. Like maybe words like that are more likely to be used for those meanings because they are a word that requires more effort, which makes it feel like it's a thing that's right for that word. Maybe. That's the only thing I can think. I wonder if other languages have done the same thing. I wonder if in other languages words like vibrant and life type words end up being like very energetic type of expressions end up being longer. I must say, when I saw the wait, I can just do this.
I must say, when I saw the enormity of the task before us, I did not think we would finish in mere bells.
Oh, that's a few hours, I believe, because the bells used to toll every hour in some places, so I believe that that's what she means by mere bells.
I had braced myself for a full day of labor, at the very least.
Thank Benedict for that. We'd
And,
still be searching for weaknesses in our perimeter had he not been guiding us.
Anna's my number one. She's my number one. If she betrays me, my heart will be broken. I'm totally down. Anna, like, she's the only one who is easy to convince on every vote. Like, she's always like, what do you want, my lord? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, that's right. Everybody else is like, gimme, gimme, gimme. She's like, I give you. All right? Plus, she's powerful as hell, dude. 2 attacks per turn.
Indeed, but let us not understate Eridor's feats of strength.
Come now, Eridor. How many times must I tell you to be delicate with the sandbags? We only have so many at hand.
I hear you, I hear you. I'll treat him as delicately as my lady love, in the absence of one.
Now is not the time for jests, Eridor.
If you don't want me complaining and you don't want me jesting, then I guess I'll just shut my mouth.
To hear them trading barbs like children, you would never think they work so well together.
Wisdom and strength. 2 pillars that keep House Wolfort standing strong.
Wisdom, eh? He wasn't always that way. Took him plenty of failing to get where he is now.
I find that difficult to believe.
Is there something you wish to share with us, Eridor?
Might be. Maybe you've forgotten the folly of 20 years past, but my mind is a steel trap.
20 years past? Is this man an elephant? Let it go. He must be
And
married
what's
to
our task for
Benedict.
today?
This dude is Benedict's wife. He's like, 20 years ago, you said these words. Like, oh, hell no. Really? Really? 20 years? What's the moratorium on me saying the wrong words out loud?
We are to deliver this message
Death.
to Lady Destra with all
Only
haste.
death. Yo, can we see a young Benedict if we hit this button? Yo, it's a young Benedict! A young Benedict. He was a soldier in the Salt Iron War fighting under Simone's command. All right, hold up. What about Eridor? Yo, young Eridor, look at that jaw. Yo, what do you mean he doesn't have a lady? He should be having himself a lady. That's by choice. He's like, I ain't got time for that shit. I got fights to do. I'm battling. I don't even take off my armor. A young Eridor, he was a soldier of the Salt Iron War, fighting under Simone's command.
Seems simple enough. Send a bird.
I would not trust a bird in this rain. A horse would be more reliable, and swifter besides.
Is that so? I respectfully disagree, my friend. Either way, I'm not going to be the one nursing you back to health if you catch the chills.
Isn't a horse more likely to break a leg in rain? There's softened ground and stuff too. Imagine a horse stepping on like a mole. hole or something in the rain, you're done. That thing's gonna go right in there, right?
Shall we make it a wager then? Send a bird, and we shall see who reaches Lady Destra first. You had best hurry.
What? Benedict.
Yo, he's already on his
Off
horse.
he goes. Well then, where are those damned hawks?
I thought it was a serious matter. He's like, oh, 20 years ago.
As I recall, Benedict arrived at around the same time as the hawk. If it were a sunny day, he might have won.
He's like, 20 years ago, Benedict and I disagreed about whether a hawk or a horse would be faster during the rain. And I was right. Really, bro? You still on that shit for 20 years?
Ah, the folly of youth.
I thought
Many of our best days were spent in Lord Simon's service.
I thought it was gonna be something serious. I thought it was gonna be something like people died because he made a mistake. This man's like, nah, 20 years ago we disagreed about whether a horse or a hawk would be faster in the rain. And he was wrong. He was wrong. Y'all should know that, okay?
We made many such wagers in an attempt to get into Lord Simon and Lady Destra's good graces.
I remember when...
I believe we have had enough reminiscing for one day.
I
Erador.
agree. I don't want any more stories about hawks and horses going
Don't
fast
be such
or
a
not.
harsh taskmaster, Benedict. Where's the harm in a story?
Like, I bet that if I were to pay a man in 100 copper, he would be more insulted if I paid him 100 just a single silver. And like, I don't think so. Let us disagree. Let's test it. And then 20 years from now, have a discussion about it again. Now I was right and you were wrong. Haha.
Ask me that again when the floodwaters break through our meager fortifications. There is much to do and little time to do it, wouldn't you?
Me?
Uh-oh, they're bringing Anna into it.
Old friends or old enemies? Sometimes it is hard to tell with those two.
Whatever the case, our work's done for the day. And there's nothing like a hard drink after hard labor. You two care to join me?
I would love to. Please, regale me with more tales of your youth.
I see no harm in one drink.
Let's be off then.
Shall we invite Benedict along?
You'd only be wasting your breath.
Now that you mention it, I do not believe I have ever seen you two sharing drinks.
Spirits cloud the mind, so I rarely drink. When I do partake, however, I prefer to do so in quiet. I fear Erador would only spoil that.
Hey, Private Tomcat, how's it going, man? Alright. There's so many additional things. Let's do 2 and then we'll do a character. Roland's reminiscing during a training session with Sarah. Okay.
You've gotten better, my friend. Much better.
Yeah, I've been promoted to rank, son.
Only because I've had you to train with. And how far behind would I be without Sir Maxwell's tutelage? The Dawnspear himself is my personal mentor. and still you're all but my equal.
It's been a while since we last sparred. It takes time to adapt to a new opponent.
Perhaps so. Anyhow,
Clocks, private
I
time.
always enjoy our skirmishes. No better way to clear my head after another quarrel with Father.
Where I live, they adjust the clocks forward and backwards, so daylight savings time. It's the same time for me, technically.
Must all three nations be part of this mining venture? I've yet to hear a convincing argument as to why.
The younger son, no, I was hoping it's not a younger Roland.
You do not hear because you do not listen.
Aww. Poor Regna. He lost his head.
Hyzant offers nothing but a sliver of their vast riches. Something we could easily do without. I understand the advantage of involving Esfrost. Their expertise speeds things along immeasurably. But Hyzant, have you at least demanded they lower the taxes on salt? Such a change would be welcomed by our subjects and enrich their daily lives. We cannot concede everything while gaining naught in return. Surely you see this, Father.
It has been decided, and I will hear no more. You presume upon matters you do not comprehend.
But Father, I'm just...
Now, Roland, if there is nothing else, pray leave me be. I have more important matters to attend to.
What? Yo, that's some bad father and king stuff you're doing right here, my man. Apparently, the U.S. Senate decided today that the DST clock switching will stop on 2023. Really? Interesting. The Senate, though, like, does one house control that for the entire nation? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the federal government doesn't control that. Seeing as that there's a couple of states in the U.S. that don't change their time around, so that's probably a state matter. Could be wrong. Yeah, but remember, the U.S. isn't a kingdom; it's a United States, and there's already states that do not do daylight savings time. So, Sunshine Protection Act, bro. Like the names they come up for these bills, I want to slap them in their face. Like I'm not even joking. Like you know how I talk about slapping as a joke? No, I think these politicians need slaps. Like legitimately, that guy from that commercial that was walking around slapping everyone, he needs to be inside any gathering of politicians, and as they're all discussing things, he's just walking around slapping them indiscriminately. And there's extra slaps for anyone who opens their stupid mouth. The Sunshine Protection Act. Jesus. These damn names they came up with. That was that has to have been a Democrat bill, right? For it to be such an elaborate name. They tend to like their elaborate names more. Should be the war against clock changes. That sounds more like a Republican bill right there. It should just be the daylight savings bill. There you go. Or act, or whatever you want to call it. There you go. And it's like, oh, what is this one about? Oh, it's about whether or not we should adjust our clocks. We're the federal government. So the answer is no. The answer is no, we don't have a say in that. Like, why are we in people's businesses so much that we're like, yo, state, we're gonna control how you do your time. Hey, Private Tomcat, thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. Gotta get swifty in here. That is so ridiculous. Like, I don't think there's any real need for the daylight savings time anymore. However, it does help with electricity costs a little bit. However, who cares? Also, this is yet another giant city bill that is going to affect people in rural areas more negatively. Like, rural areas are going to be more negatively impacted by this clock thing. Because in the city, daylight savings time is meaningless. Every inch of the city is covered in lights. Like, you can see at all times of the day. It's not an issue. In rural areas, you can go football fields, several, depending on how it is, you could go a mile, a couple of miles with blackness, no lights at all. So there's going to be more car accidents on certain times of the year now because it's going to be darker. Daylight savings time is a thing that should be chosen by the individual areas because it makes more sense in some places than others. In a city, there's no point in the daylight savings time. The city's awake at all hours of the day. You can see well at all hours of the day. I mean, the only thing it helps with is electricity. It lowers the electrical grid freaking usage, I would guess, right? Because you don't have to have not as many people are going to be active burning their lights at those later hours. But in rural areas where the entire town isn't just ablaze with light, it is going to be a lot more of a hassle to get around at night. Italy wanted tourism spots. Oh, there's still an argument to have daylight savings time. But like I said, it's a per region argument. That's an actual legitimate argument. What Italy, their argument, you saying for tourists? For some locations, tourism is insanely valuable for that area. Like it brings in lots and lots of money and increases the general wealth of that entire town or city. So tourism is a very important thing for people's prosperity in certain regions. That money coming from outside of town being spent in all these areas, they're not like just like say someone goes to a ski resort or something, right? They're not just spending money there, they're spending money all over the place. Then all the people who work at that resort, all the people who run the diners next to it, all the people who sell clothing around there, and all these small businesses plus the resort are all being propped up by tourism. And it brings in a lot of wealth. Like, good tourism is very good. So that's like a legitimate argument. It's not like tourism. Who cares? It's just tourism. No, that's actually a really good thing. So them blocking it for tourism isn't like a selfish thing or a stupid thing. That's a big deal. That's a really big deal. It could really hurt the Italy if they make a bill that ends up hurting their tourism. So if I had to choose, I'd rather err on the side of caution when it came to that. Like, it's working well enough as it is. Why risk hurting this thing? Maybe we could test it for a year and see what happens. And if it does end up hurting our tourism, then we'll go back. You know, like that would be like my compromise if I was in charge of making that decision. But yeah, tourism is a very important thing. Like that's the thing about making these changes like that. Like just the most minor of change could have massive impacts on people's lives that you just didn't notice or you didn't think about. And when everyone's settled in on a thing, it's always risky to change that thing. And for something like daylight savings time, it's completely regional. It is 100% regional. I personally have always said that daylight savings time should be a thing that is removed worldwide and everyone just goes off of their local time. But their local time, and what I mean by that is I go to work at 3 a.m. like that kind of thing. Like I think that there should be a world time. Like someone needs to conquer the entire planet and then there's world time. And I don't care what side of the world you're on, it's 3 a.m. everywhere in the entire world. In some places 3 a.m. is in the middle of the morning and it's still dark. In other places 3 a.m. the sun's setting. Doesn't matter. Like I think like it's when you live somewhere, it's not hard to know. You're like, oh, okay, it's 3 a.m. What does that mean? That means that my sun's coming up. But if I move a few hundred miles east and I start living there, 3 a.m. means that the sun's coming up. I mean, the sun's not up yet. I mean, the sun's up even earlier. My bad. However, like that would take a while for people to adjust to. That's not gonna happen. UK energy bill went up. Well, without daylight savings time, the power plants are going to burn more energy on certain times of the year and less on other times. No, the same on other times and then more on other times. That's probably how it ends up. It's not going to balance out. World time is UTC. Yeah, universal time. Yeah, I'm just saying, I think that the world should have one time. It'd be a lot less confusing for everyone if it was just 3 a.m. across the entire planet at the exact same time. It would be a lot less confusing for everyone. I think that time zones are a thing, are an archaic, out-of-date thing. And if they're going to do away with daylight savings time, the federal government's going to say daylight savings time is not a thing that we should do anymore, and they're going to force states to do it, then we might as well get rid of time zones too, because time zones are just as meaningless. Like, it's just a number. And I argue that there's a lot more confusion with the world being connected as it is. There's a lot more confusion with time zones being a thing than there would be confusion that, oh, someone woke up at 3 a.m. and went to work, and for them 3 a.m. is basically midday. Like that, I argue that there's going to be a lot more confusion, because here's how it would work. You ready for this? This is how if the entire world had universal time, right? We all have one time. This is how it would work. Well, here's how time zones work. People always say something like they use their time, but they don't have to use their time, and you could just train them into that. So all you have to do to fix it is just everyone has the same universal time. So when the internet's doing its thing, everything's connected. If something took place at 3 a.m., it took place at 3 a.m. across the entire world. It's not 3 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Western, or 5 p.m. this time, and none of that shit. It's just 3 a.m. And if someone wants to convey that something took place during a certain time of day and it's not important the specific time, because that's the thing. If the specific time, as in 3:23 a.m., if that time is important and therefore you post that time because that's an important time, then that's not going to mean anything to people who are outside of your time zone unless they convert it to their time zone. So having it be a specific time is unimportant. However, if 3:23 a.m. a specific time is important and you have universal time, then it actually is good for everyone. However, the way you should speak when it comes to this, if it's not very important that it's a very specific time that it happened, then you just simply state what time of day it was, non-exactly, as in the afternoon, early morning, midday, night. Like we have 100 terms to discuss to describe what time of day it is. Like we like more than 100 terms to describe what time of day is, and everyone knows what they mean. And all of those descriptions I'm talking about have nothing to do with the number of time. It is all about where the sun is in the sky, whether it's below you because it's on the other side of the world, or it's above you, or it's just coming up into the sky, or it's just about to go down. Like we have hundreds of terms, not hundreds, probably like over 100 terms that describe where the sun is around our world relative to where I'm standing. So if it's not important to say the exact time, then you just state one of the sun terms. There you go. You just say dusk. And you say, when you say something happened at dusk, no matter where on the planet someone hears that, they know exactly what time you meant. As long as they speak, as long as that's translated into their language or they speak your language, they know. Like, I guarantee there's not a single language in the entire planet that was in widely circulated amongst lots of people that does not have a term for dusk. Everyone has it. So yeah, I think a universal time, and then and then for things that are important for the specific time, you say the number. But when you're just talking about like an experience, you're like, this happened to me at this time. You don't say this happened to me at 2 a.m. or this happened to me at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. You say this happened to me shortly after sunrise. This happened to me just before sunrise. You don't even need a whole 100 terms. You can just use like 4 or 5 terms and you have all of it. You just say it happened right after dawn. Yeah. Anyways, that's my time rant. Yeah, I think it should just be a universal time. Everyone should be on the same time. And if an individual area, and this is the great thing about having a universal time, you don't have to worry about daylight savings time, because areas will simply adjust based on the time of day. I mean, based on the position of the sun. Like, people who live in this area will know, hey, we because we no longer worry about the numbers as much. We worry about the position of the sun, and we tie the numbers to it depending on where it is. Then we don't tie the numbers on it depending on where it is. Then we just do our times. It sounded a lot more poetic too. Yeah. So they just do their thing. So, and then individual areas, like say a state like, I don't know, Kentucky, that has a lot more rural areas with a lot more farmland and a lot more pastures and stuff like that, with a lot of space in between, where you're going to need a lot more where having business hours during the sunlight is a lot more important. Than those areas, that town can say, we are actually going to adjust our opening and closing times based on the sunlight. So at some point in the year, they're going to be like, okay guys, instead of opening it up at 7 a.m., we're going to open up at 6 a.m. And that's just what the town does. It should have nothing to do with the federal government. The federal government has no business telling me what time it is. You'd think they have more important things to worry about right now with them fucking up everything. Instead, they're like, you know what? We've fucked up everything possible. So rather than trying to fix any of the shit we effed up, you know what we're gonna do? Let's just try to find something else to fuck around with. Oh, you know what? Let's fuck around with that daylight savings time thing. Isn't that slightly inconvenient? Yeah, it is. Let's pass the Sunshine Protection Act. Fuck off. Pompous pieces of shit. Sunshine Protection Act.
Yes, Father.
You're gonna have to pass the Protect My Face from Xearrik's Slaps Act.
If only I'd found the right words. If only I'd kept my emotions in check.
Walk around the entire
Perhaps
damn
things would have ended differently.
freaking government, slapping all of them, knock some sense into them. Though I do think, like, as at non-joking, you know, this jokes, slap stuff is a joke, right? But I do think, I've talked about this before, and I'll say it again, but without elaborating too much. I do think that there should be physical and financial punishment for politicians who do bad things. I mean, as in they are whipped, or they are they are beaten. They are sometimes executed, and their wealth should be either completely seized or reduced in some way for them doing bad things. Because the reason why politicians are so corrupt and that they do whatever they want, no matter how many people suffer, is because politicians have zero skin in the game. None. They can send millions of people to their death and there will be no penalty other than maybe they'll get voted out of office. Really? I'm sorry, what? Yeah, we can make the most horrible blunders that result in tons of people dying, tons of people suffering, like huge amounts of people becoming impoverished, and there is no penalty other than maybe they'll get voted out of office. If you impoverish all of the people who voted for you, I mean, not even who voted for you, just the people who you work for, then you should be impoverished. If you go into office and you're running your government and 20% of people's wages end up basically like say like we're having inflation issues right now, right? Let's for every percent of inflation that happens, there should be an equal reduction in the pay of that politician, so they feel it even more than their citizens. And then maybe they'll get off their asses and actually do a good job. But they don't care. We get tons of inflation and we are suffering. We can't buy as much stuff with our money. It's much more expensive to buy food, much more expensive to buy gas, much more expensive to do everything, right? And you know what kind of skin the politicians have in the game? None. They just gave themselves huge raises. They gave themselves a huge raise here in America, and I heard that they recently did the same in Britain too. Like, didn't they give themselves like a 20-something% raise or some crap like that? Like some asinine amount of extra money? They don't have to worry about inflation because they just give themselves a ton more money. They need skin in the game. And I mean, they need corporal punishment. At the very least, corporal and financial punishment. If they do things that physically harm people, like if they make a decision that physically harms someone, and not just a person but lots of people because of their incompetence. Now, not if it's an accident, right? But if it's direct incompetence, then they get punished. And they get punished more if it's malicious. If they did it for their self-interest, then they get a huge punishment. It's a huge punishment. So like bring back lashes, basically, like they used to do for people on ships, like that would do the wrong thing, right? Like you're serving on a boat and you screw up and they lash you with the cat of nine tails or whatever, and it's like, oh, you get a dozen lashes because you did this thing. Oh, you did it maliciously, you get 3 dozen. I bet you politicians would straighten up their act pretty damn fast. But yeah, if it's through incompetence, the punishment isn't as harsh. That should happen. And so if, like, say you pass some shitty bill that has something to do with traffic and cars, and you get a lot of people injured, like traffic accidents go up like 20%, and there's tons of more really bad accidents that happen. There's people who are crippled, there's people who are killed, then you get a physical punishment for it. If you do something through incompetence and it gets tons and tons of people killed, maybe you get the death penalty. If you did it maliciously, you definitely get it. Because if you did something maliciously for self-interest that resulted in the death of tons of people, how are you not a murderer, a mass murderer? But our politicians consistently do things that are malicious, that they know will not benefit their people, but will benefit themselves directly, that result in the deaths of many of their citizens, and they don't give a shit. Because what's gonna happen? They get voted out of office? Who fucking cares? And most of the time, they won't get voted out of office. Not only, like I say, first off, we do not treat our politicians the way we treat the rest of the people. They're above the law. They openly commit crimes all the time and get away with it. Like, very openly, not some crazy conspiracy theory, but there's on the books tons of times our politician, our own president currently right now, has openly broken the law multiple times, and there's been no punishment towards that, none whatsoever. Not like a maybe he broke it, you know, maybe he didn't, but no, he openly broke it. And so did a hell of a lot of other current serving politicians. And they're not serving, they're ruling. That's what they should be, ruling politicians, because they don't have to abide by the same laws of us. And I say, screw making them abide by the same laws of us. I say, if you're a fucking politician and you're doing it should be a civic duty. And if you, and in order to really push that home, to really make sure that people who actually want to do a good for their people, and so they become a politician, that we punish the shit out of people who go in there and do things maliciously. They don't just have to follow our laws. They have even more strict laws. It should be like the same thing should be for like a police officer. If you're a police officer and you rob a bank, you should get like 5 times the sentence of someone who's not a police officer and robs a bank. Because you swore an oath to protect the law. And the same goes for a politician. All politicians swear oaths. They should be punished far more harshly than someone like me who commits a crime. If I commit a crime, if I commit a horribly heinous crime, like mass murder, like I get in a car and I just run over a crowd of people, that is infinitely less deadly than a single incompetent law that could be passed by a politician. How many people have died because of drug laws that were passed? Because of trade deals that were made with really shitty things. Yeah. Lots of these things that have enriched politicians in some way, where they made deals with some giant corporation to make a thing do for them that's going to get them a bunch of money, and instead, how many people end up dying? We're still seeing people die today because of bad drug laws. I had a friend like 3 months ago die from a drug overdose. That shit wouldn't have happened without the fucked up laws we have right now. There are people dying every fucking day because of the incompetence of our politicians. One mass shooter is trivial in comparison to one fucked up politician. They should be plastered all over television. It should, like, anytime they do something like that, it should be mass hysteria. Like, people should be losing their minds. They're like, oh my god, someone did a mass shooting, it's so evil, oh my god, and everyone's talking about it, but no one talks about the politician who has a way higher body count, that when they leave office, if the shit that they enacted isn't removed, they're still killing people after they left. No one's gonna talk about that. They need skin in the game. These politicians need to be physically and financially punished for their incompetence. And when it's malicious, it needs to be extremely severe, up to including death. We put people to death for killing one person sometimes. These politicians take oaths of responsibility, and they'll do things that result in thousands, sometimes millions of people dying. There are no greater mass murderers than a politician. The most successful mass murderers, the most successful serial killers of our time are modern politicians. That's my ultra hot take on politicians. Ultra hot take. And I'm not saying any of that stuff should be done to them illegally, obviously. I'm saying that there should be laws enacted to where if you take office, you are aware that these are the responsibilities and these are the consequences of your actions, right? Like, they should be aware. Like, if we pass these laws and the politicians who are currently in there can opt out, they're like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and resign because I'd rather not be whipped and have all my money taken from me. You know, you can't punish people retroactively, but we should be able to punish the ones who did commit crimes openly. All of them should be punished. Like, they don't matter if they resign or not, their crimes should be punished. They're just not as severely as we would post laws, because, you know, obviously they weren't, you know, you can't punish people retroactively. That shit ain't right. That's just as unethical as these motherfuckers when the shit they do. All right, let's get back to the game.
If only
My
I had
rant's
found
over.
the right words. If only I had kept my emotions in check. Perhaps things would have ended differently.
Blaming yourself for past mistakes will lead you nowhere. You must look forward for the opportunities ahead.
Of course. And I trust you'll be at my side come that time.
Just as House Wolford stands with the crown, I stand with you.
Maybe, you know, I don't do politics on my channel very often, and I never make a politic video. I just mention it sometimes in the middle of a stream. Maybe I should cut all that out. It's not like my channel's gonna get punished or anything. It's already dead, right? I should cut all that out and make it its own video. Call it something like the ultra spicy take on politicians. That is an ultra spicy take right there, dude.
I am fortunate to have as loyal a friend as you.
Oh, you think that politicians should be held to the same standards as everyone else, huh? No, no, no. No, higher standards. Higher. I want corporal punishment.
As am I. Enough sentimentality. Raise your spear so I can knock it down.
You're welcome to try, my friend.
Do 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 do. Frederica. We're about to check one of the new characters after this one, I think.
Lord Serenoa never ceases to amaze me. Despite all the hours he dedicates to his duties, he looks none the worse for wear.
Even so, I am certain it takes its toll on him. He wants to set an example for his people and those who serve him, and wishes not to worry them over his condition. Excuse me, Serenoa, but is there anything I could do to help?
Frederica, my apologies for the delay.
Yeah, I think I might do it. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm gonna make a note. I might cut that out and make it its own video. Set my channel on fire. Alright, let's see. Let's see. Ultra. Spicy rant. Ultra spicy take on politicians. Okay. Save. All right, I have the note. I may or may not do it. I haven't decided. The funny thing is there was no conspiracy theory in there, Axel. I wasn't talking about mole people or any of that. Everything I said was either completely factual true, like 100% a fact, or just my opinion on what should be done about those facts. So there's no real debating whether or not what I said was true. There's only debating whether or not what I said would be a just a just punishment for crimes that would be committed, because everyone knows politicians commit crimes. Like, to say otherwise would be like It'd be like saying water isn't wet and the sun isn't hot. It doesn't. They commit crimes. They do. Period. And you can't argue that even when they're not committing crimes and they just do things through incompetence, a lot of time they do it because there's no punishment other than maybe they'll get voted out of office. That's not even arguable there. Those things are all just facts. Like, you know, there'll be some exceptions where sometimes it's done through, you know, it was just a mistake, or that, you know, they were trying to help but it went the wrong way. You know, there's all kinds of things where you could say that, but there's still a large amount of things that are done through because of selfish reasons that result in the harm of people, and they knew that it would harm people. That happens all the time, and quite often it's not even illegal for them to do that. So that there's no like, everything is just, it's all facts. It's facts combined with my opinion on what should be done about those facts, and I have a very extreme opinion of it now. Like, and it's because I don't see a world where politicians, like, I don't see a world where we could say press a button and all politicians who are currently in office are replaced with really honest people, and 100 years down the line we're not in the same exact place we are right now. I don't see that happening. We're going to be like, even if we somehow replace every politician across the entire planet with ethical, honest actors, we will be in the exact same place 100 to a few hundred years from now. And I only see really two ways to fix that. They have to have skin in the game. And really, one thing that I didn't mention that I've always said, it should be illegal for politicians to lie. Why can politicians lie to their boss, which is me, but I can't lie to my boss? If I go into work and I lie, I'm fired. They go into work and lie to me every single day, every minute of every single hour of every single day, and there is zero consequences. 99% of the time, they're not even voted out of office because people just expect politicians to lie. So it should be against the law for a politician to lie about anything that is government related. If a politician is asked whether they cheated on their wife, they can say whatever they want. That's a personal thing. If a politician is asked on an economic question and they fucking lie, impeached immediately. Not even like maybe, it's like, no, we proved you lied. He's like, well, I was mistaken. Doesn't matter. You're out. Like, unless you correct yourself within that thing, if you misspoke, I don't care. Out of office. There is no misspeaking. You can say, actually, no one died. I meant to say someone died. There, fine. You can get away with that because you changed it within that discussion. But if you walk away from that discussion and you leave that shit the way it is on the floor, you don't get to print a correction. No, you're gone from office immediately and replaced. It should be against the law for politicians to lie, and we need to give them skin in the game, and which means they need to be physically and financially punished for their actions, depending on what the consequences of their actions were for their people. Those two things combined, if they were a law in every nation in the world, all nations in the world would be governed by a lot more honest people. Because they'd be scared as shit. You would see nothing but honest actors in there the vast majority of the time. People would go into office not just to enrich themselves and to become these wealthy, powerful people for the rest of their lives. Like certain politicians that went in there without having even $100,000 to their name, but by the time they've been in there for who knows how many years, they're on their way to being a billionaire. Yes, we have politicians who have like $250 or $500 million. That's a thing. That's a thing that happened because of them being a politician and being able to make certain financial investments and things like that. And things that they know, because it's not illegal for them to do insider trading. I'd argue all trading in stocks is insider trading if you're a politician, period. But they can do whatever they want. They can, it's like, oh, I know a bill's going to be on the floor today about such and such. You know what? Sell all those stocks. Like, if you do that, and then it turns out that that caused some harm to people, you just lost all that money. So it doesn't matter if you made money from selling those stocks. You just lost it. Did it cause physical harm to people too? Oh, baby, you just lost all that money and you're getting the stick. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People would be... I think you would have a lot more honorable people in office at that point. Because the more dishonorable people who are there just for greed and power, they'd be a little fearful of punishment. So you'd find people who are more like, I'm going to do this because I want to help my people. And that's who we need in office. We need people who want to be there to help their people and not be there to help themselves. Freedom. It was Braveheart 1995. Yeah, dude, that was like a goosebump moment, wasn't it? The first time you guys saw that? Wallace, William Wallace, was it? Freedom! Like, I don't know a person who watched that who probably didn't have goosebumps. Like everybody had to have goosebumps, man. Like, oh shit.
The citizen's petition will require a bit more time, so why don't you and Gila return home ahead of me?
I see. If you insist.
Remember, I used to have that on VHS. It was 2 tapes. It was a big movie. You had to have 2 tapes to watch it.
But please do not push yourself too hard, Serenoa.
Wisdom, random. There's a lot of dumbs in those words, isn't there, formula?
I shan't. Thank you, Frederica.
Of course.
Even though I know it's coming, if I watched that film today, I haven't seen it in like a decade or 2, I probably would get goosebumps again.
Is something the matter? It's rare of you to sigh like that.
Did I? Oh my.
It looks like something's troubling you. If you wish to talk about it, I am happy to lend an ear.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I sometimes wonder if I can go on like this.
Are things not going well with Lord Serenoa?
No! Serenoa is as kind and gentle as ever. It is my own self I have doubts about.
Did you typo a few of your words there, VIP Jim? I'm not sure I get the whole point of that last thing you said.
I cannot help but wonder if I am truly of any use to him.
Since Lord Serenoa is always working so hard, why not give him a tonic to boost his vitality? I purchased one from a merchant not long ago. It should chase all his fatigue away.
A good idea to be sure, but the fact remains it is not me myself that is serving him.
Oh, that's when you were born, Daily?
Then how about preparing a meal for him? Something nutritious to fill him with vim and vigor.
Vigor. Isn't that what Vim is? Have you seen the film all the way through, Daily? Doesn't allow you to live. Is politicians hire for war? Yeah. Yeah.
Me? Cook?
Yes, I'm certain he would be delighted by anything that you make.
But I've never cooked before. I doubt anything I make would suffice.
You won't know until you try. Besides, what matters isn't the result, but the feeling behind it.
You saw it on TV? It's a long movie, man.
Use this cookbook. I'm sure you will find a recipe or two to your liking.
Thank you, Gila. Now then, which of these would Serenoa enjoy?
Here's my water. All right, how many more do we have? All right, let's do one of the characters. I want to see one of these new characters. This guy seems the least interesting of them. Let's take a look at him. Ooh, this is a new region.
How fortunate this humble merchant is to look upon such beauty.
This is the S-Frosty region. It's snowy and it has the lava. Their power levels. Yeah, media does. I mean, that's the job. That's their job, dude. It's all connected. A bunch of wealthy people are in control of all that stuff, and they have political ties, and they want their people in office so that laws can be passed to protect them from any sort of thing and help enrich them at the same time. It's all a big circle. It's not like that's not a conspiracy either, but just look at the people who are in charge. Look at when people are running for office, how much money is invested by these corporations and people, and then how these corporations get even more and more wealthy. Like during COVID, who suffered? Did any major corporations suffer? No, they just got more and more wealthy. All the big companies got massive, tons of money, so much money they made. The small companies got screwed. That's not a coincidence. What did I say? I said this a couple years ago when COVID was first a thing. And I said, if you want to know what your politician's going to do, just find out what's going to make them and their friends get the most money and power for their friends. And what happened? Policies were enacted that made them both lots of money and gave them lots of money and power. Almost like I'm psychic. I can see the future because it's predictable. It's like if you want to know what politicians are going to do in any given problem, remember that the thing they're going to do are things that give them money and power. That's it. And not just them, but their friends. Because enriching their friends enriches them. I called it years before it happened, and look where we are now. It's not a big, giant conspiracy or anything like that. It's just really corrupt, evil people with no skin in the game are running our world right now. And they give a shit. They couldn't give two shits about you. They only care about them and their friends. And they are everything that happens that like every decision they make, it's about them and their friends, helping them. Like this daylight savings time thing. If they really passed a bill recently to do something that's because it's something that they personally were experiencing. They're like, you know, it's annoying dealing with this. I don't want to deal with this anymore. It's always I. They don't do anything for the people. It's always for themselves. I really should focus on the game a little bit more.
How fortunate this humble merchant is to look upon.
Oh, I can't pull up his portrait.
Nothing would do Lionel greater honor than to see his powders and perfumes adorn your divine visages. Such honor, in fact, that he's willing to part with them for practically nothing at all.
We haven't even coined for salt, let alone vanity.
Mines are not but your ledgers. You peddlers disgust me.
Well met, brave protectors of the realm. Lionel has brought everything a hero needs and more. Every item has undergone meticulous testing to ensure that they will serve you well on the battlefield.
Out of our way, junkmonger. We've important duties to attend to.
How rude! Where are the smiles and open coin purses the people used to greet Lionel with?
Junkmonger. Organized extortion ring. Yeah. The squids.
Oh, perhaps Lionel should take his goods elsewhere.
I've never heard of people referred that way.
Disagreeable. However,
except in Splatoon.
it is the perfect opportunity for the shrewd trader to amass his fortune. And Lionel is shrewd,
if nothing else, my bad.
My lord, that merchant who peddles his wares in our encampment has requested an audience.
Yes, let him come forth.
You do Lionel a great honor, my lord. A great honor.
Is his name Lionel? Like, is he really? That's not his name, right?
That he can count House Wolfort among his loyal patrons has ever been a source of pride.
Talking about some kind of merchants guild, maybe?
Yes, right. What brings you before me today?
As my lord is doubtless already aware, war places a heavy burden on the treasury. A burden that only grows heavier as time drags on. However, a skilled negotiator can see his coffers even fuller at war's end than they were at its beginning. If he may be so bold, Lionel would offer his services in that very capacity. He understands your precarious position, trapped between two ravenous wolves. In such times, one can never have enough coin and resources to stave off what may come. Surely you agree?
Your words have merit, and you have always been honest in your dealings with my house. I see no reason not to welcome you into our ranks.
Splendid! You are as wise as they say. Wiser, even. Lionel shall not disappoint. Just the opposite, in fact. From this day until his very last, He shall stake his honor on the prosperity of your house.
His name is Lionel. He perpetually speaks in third person. Why? A merry and masterful merchant who provides an array of goods. He believes that a profitable end justifies the means in which line of work, and dedicates himself wholeheartedly to filling his own coffers.
And if his own coin purse should grow fat in the process, who could blame him?
All right, we have a new party member. What the hell is this dude gonna do for us? Dialogue's kind of iffy. Trifles with foes using his elite eloquence. What, he negotiates with them? Right. Can infiltrate foes or tempt them into defecting. What? He can charm people? Dude, that's powerful. He has the ability to charm. Collect an extra bit of coin along with the spoils. That's also good. Doesn't want more money. What is this class called? I think it was on the screen. I just didn't pay attention. I'll look again in a second, you know. I'm clipping my claws. Alright, roster. There he is. He is a wordsmith. Charm. Lower an enemy's physical defense and magic defense for 3 turns. Ruffle feathers. Chance of infuriating a single enemy for 2 turns. Lucky find. Passive. Obtain money when picking up spoils. Interesting. So I'd want him to have like high movement speed and just run around the map picking up money and picking up spoils. Is it money and the spoils? It says obtain money when picking up spoils. If it doesn't actually pick up the spoils as well, that sucks. Alright, let's do another story here. We have a lot of side story stuff because of me having to get my things up. So, Anna! Oh, I wasn't even looking at his weapon. He uses a whip as his weapon. That's messed up.
Looking worse for wear, Anna. Long scouting missions sure ain't easy.
Easy or not, I do what duty demands. Do you need something?
No. Just reckon Benedict must be relieved you're back safe and sound.
Must he?
Of course. After all.
Damn it.
He treats you like his own daughter. Don't know any parent what wouldn't worry over their child. And he's got extra cause to fret, with all the dangerous work he gives you.
Oh? It never crossed my mind. Benedict trusts me. That's all I've ever needed.
That's so.
Do all parents by blood show concern for their children?
Wondering about yours, are you?
That's none of your concern.
I still remember how you insisted on being a scout, soon as you were old enough. You wouldn't say why, but any fool could guess it was to find out more regarding your parents. This work's well suited to that sort of thing.
You might be, Soren. I don't think it's really necessary, but she does have the gray hair thing of the S Frosty people. Like the rich S Frosty, the royalty, the duchy people. All of them have that color hair. So she could be related to them or something like that too. She could be a
Yet Benedict refused me.
she could be a child, like like related to Dragon, whatever his father's name was.
And he was wise to do so. It ain't a job for an amateur. Guess he hadn't anticipated you'd trained under Archibald.
There's a character called Anna in other Fire Emblem games, so she has red hair. Was she in Fire Emblem Three Houses?
I earned his respect when he saw what I could do. The means don't matter, only the results.
A few years ago. All right. Benedict's still older. He has his glasses.
I have grave news, sir. The enemy has captured one of our scouts. I know our soldiers aren't broken easily, but given enough time in the enemy's hands...
And here we are, severely short-handed. I shall call a war council, so our approach may be reconsidered.
Yeah, she looks the same in this. Like, I thought about trying to play some of the other Fire Emblem games, but if I don't play through Fire Emblem Three Houses, I shouldn't even bother. Because like I never even beat that game. I should play that again at some point and play it properly instead of quitting halfway through, or even like I was probably a lot less than halfway, like probably like 10% of the way through. Oh damn! She just super jumped. She just Mega Man'd out of there.
The scout has been rescued and returned safely home.
Already? That was far sooner than I anticipated.
Enjoying your Red Bull, yeah?
I hope my actions were not out of line.
No, well done, Anna. I don't know where I'd be without you.
Yeah, thinking about that stuff too much will make you mad and crazy. It does me, at least. Politics drive me nuts, VIP Gym, when I think about them, because there seems to be no justice in the world.
Nor are you.
Can't thank you enough for leaping to my scout's rescue, while Benedict was still pondering what to do.
Born. A lot of the characters in Smash seem kind of cool, right? Like the characters that are in there. I think there's too many Fire Emblem characters because they're all anime sword fighter dudes. except for Robin. But you know, some of them like seem cool. Like maybe they'll have something like Ike. And for me, Corrin was one of them. Like Ike, Corrin, and Robin all seem like they might be cool characters. Lucina, maybe. Roy, definitely. But that's because Roy is just hype in the game. Roy is just like always like screaming. Even his death cry. Like he's the only one who has like a death cry. Other people are like, ah, when you send them off. But no, he like screams like he's dying when you kill him off the top or KO him off the top.
I'd pay good coin just to see that look on his face again. So, think you'll find your parents?
See, Crom's
Not
more like a
trying to
Lucina
dissuade
to
you
me.
from looking, mind. I'm only being nosy.
He seems Crom, Lucina, and what's the other guy who's like Lucina in the exact same moves, but with tippers? Marth, Lucina, Crom, and who else? Byleth. They all seem like just generic characters. Like I'm not even sure they'll have a personality. Like, and definitely Byleth doesn't have a personality. And that's what I imagine Crom, Lucina, Marth, and those to be like they're just kind of flat characters. It feels like it could just be their moves or something, but probably not, because like Crom moves exactly like Roy, but Crom just aesthetically seems more just neutral. Whereas someone like Corrin, Corrin turns into a dragon. She's always running around barefoot. That has to be something. That has to be cool. Like, there has to be a cool story around that. But you say that put you to sleep. That sucks. That's an easy story to write.
Is there something you've not told me?
Someone can turn into a water dragon and freaking run around barefoot, like forming swords and stuff with their arm. Like, that seems crazy.
What would I know that you don't? Just take care you don't end up regretting it.
I'm this close. I can feel it.
Well, it's cool at least that you can have them as for people who are nostalgic for the old characters. That's kind of cool. That's always cool. Like, they technically didn't have to write any story in Xenoblade 2 for the other characters they brought in from the first Xenoblade game. They didn't have to write any story for them. They could just brought them in and let you use them as secret characters, and people would have been hyped for it. But adding the story is just icing on the cake.
Seems as if the troubles never cease. I'd kill for a drop of ale.
I take it you and Benedict have seen your share of trouble. You have both served House Wolfort for many years, yes?
Aye. We both served Lord Simon since we were green between the ears. Through the good times and the bad.
Eredor's been in almost every one of these cutscenes. I have to use the restroom though. I'll be right back. Go floofing. go. I'm back for just a second. Coffee brewing. Has Amazon been down for anyone else? For me, like the website doesn't work today. I was checking on my earmuff things to see when they would arrive, but I can't log on to the website today. I tried earlier before the stream and it wasn't working, and now it's like 2 hours later and it's still not working. Like other websites are working for me. A little slow. A few of them. Like I typed his Amazon down and there's a Reddit website and the Reddit came up, but when I clicked on new, it was very slow. I don't see anything here. I guess it's just me. Maybe it's a cookies issue or something. Every other website is running fine. Not Amazon. This website won't come up. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab my coffee. It's done brewing by now. Look into this another time. Let me try a different browser. Yeah, it's not really loading up on the other browser either. Okay, that's fine. I'll be right back. Can't hear me, I'm muted. Yeah, I'll just check the door randomly for the ear things. I'll check it again in like an hour or so. Delivery people never knock. Guys, here we are. Back to the stream. Switch the screen here.
See him now, you wouldn't believe the stories of what we got up to in our tender years. Even then, though, he was always the schemer. Always drawing me into his fanciful plots.
Has so much changed since then?
I don't reckon so.
Did I see your flu from the other day? Yes, I commented on it. I think I said that's a very floofable kitty. Yeah, I said that is a pretty floofable kitty, Crispy Bacon. With no comma. I think it's me, Soren. I'll just like look at my browser, and mess around with my computer. Because I am having some suspicious activity with my my stream. I'm not dropping frames, but my bitrate is a bit randomish. So yeah, I'll do like an internet check and mess around with some stuff.
In any case, was there something you wanted to ask me?
There was.
Amazon doorbell.
The other day, Benedict posed quite the strange question to me.
I am surprised they don't sell those. They should sell those VIP gem. Amazon's like, we'll sell you a solution to a problem that we created. Introducing the Amazon doorbell. It's a doorbell specifically designed to ring whenever you have a package. And it's not on your phone, like it's an actual thing you install in your house. We know that our delivery people are incredibly lazy and overworked. Or incredibly overworked and uncaringly about certain things. Like it's a combination. It doesn't matter if they're overworked. It should still be their job to come up to your damn door and knock. Even if they don't have to wait, they should knock, right? But no, they throw your package they throw the package at the door and run away. Like they committed a crime, like they're egging your house with a package. Like they're like, hee, we just packaged their house. Let's get out of here, guys. Like, no, knock on the damn door. Like, this is, you want to see what Amazon, hold on, I got an idea. Is there like an online version of this? Okay. Here we go. This is Amazon delivery. How do I control it? Not working. None of my buttons work on the controller or anything. I can't work. What about, can I click on this? Oh wait, keyboard, right here. D-pad. Up. With keyboard, gamepad. Keyboard. Start, enter. Okay, A and B is Z and X. And A, okay. How do I move? Up, down? Like what is that? Like on the arrow? I press the arrows, nothing happens. The arrows don't. Ah, I've been wounded. Alright, here we go. We're gonna play some Amazon delivery, everybody. You ready? And this is Amazon delivery. I'm controlling it. Take that! Take your stupid ass package, losers! Knock, knock! It feels good to be an Amazon delivery person. Do, 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 do. Nice. Well delivered package right there. Do, do, do. Smash the window up. Oh wait, I'm out of packages. I over delivered. I need more packages. I over delivered. I over delivered. I over delivered. I over delivered. Where are my pack? There's no newspapers on the ground. Where are they? Where are my packages? There we go. It's over now. Who cares? Ah! Wait, no, there's more. Okay. Ah! Ah! Take that, you loser. Should have signed up. Breakdancing in the road, what a dummy. Ah. Oh, Amazon delivery! Knock, knock! I didn't even try to dodge it, I just went straight into it. Well thrown, well thrown. Ah! Damn, I'm a good Amazon delivery man. Yeah! To the track, baby! Let's have some fun now we deliver all my packages. Woo! Woo! Jumpsies! Them ramps, son! Eh. What? Hacks! Who put this stupid thing here? Damn, I'm good. That's how you deliver an Amazon package. Special delivery! Oh! Ah, stupid tornado. See us Amazon delivery, man, we have to deal with tornadoes and stuff. Lady, I just gave you your package. Leave me alone. Ah, it's death! What the hell? Go back to hell. I think I'm going down. This is why you guys should be kind to your Amazon delivery person, huh? It's a perilous job. Take this, you stupid break dancer. I hate windows. What? That's a strong window. Ah! Damn skateboarding hippie! Go back to Vietnam where you belong! And that's what it's like being an Amazon delivery man. You just throw shit at their door and hope for the best. Thank you very much, Private Tomcat, by the way. Wait, that was 1 hour ago. Something happened and I didn't see it. There was a pop-up. Wasn't there a pop-up? Like, I felt like I got a message. I don't see the message anywhere. Does anybody... Am I crazy? Didn't I hear a sound, like a donation or something? Maybe it was the game that made the sound. There's nothing in chat. Thought you heard it too. There's nothing in my history. Hold on. Is there anybody in chat who donated and your stuff didn't show up? Like, I don't see anything anywhere. Let's check Twitch side here. 2 hours ago, Private Tomcat. 4 days ago, Xboxer. It's not, yeah, but normally it shows up here. Let me refresh this. Was there a pop-up on the screen? Formula! It was Formula. When I refreshed it, it showed up 6 minutes ago. Thank you very much, Formula. I appreciate that. I forgot I had a Patreon. Oh crap, I double clicked it. Sorry. Thank you very much, Formula. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Paperboy is basically Amazon package delivery simulator nowadays. Hopefully it's not still buffering for you. Type that in. Are you still having buffering issues? Gotta start using my commas, man. Several years ago. Junk products.
Where snowbell blossoms bloom?
Relatively new member of the Kingsguard entrusted with Roland's protection. She dreamed of serving the crown as a young age. So hers, it is not so many years ago. Okay, you're not having issues? Cool, cool.
Indeed. I thought perhaps you had seen trace of the flowers while scouting with Flugy.
I've spotted clusters of them in the deep mountain passes before, but not of late.
So it is as I thought. They have ever been a rare sight, even more so in recent years.
Oh, no problem if you canceled it. Yeah, don't worry about that. Join through emojis. Yeah. I'm probably going to cancel that thing myself. I don't, maybe open up something on a different website. I've been hearing lots of bad things about them recently, so. I forgot it existed. I don't touch it.
I had thought to procure one, but it may be wise to temper my expectations in that regard.
Life always finds a way to flourish. I am certain Anna and I can find one before long.
I would not have you chasing my idle fancies. You both have more vital duties to attend to.
Of course.
So, Benedict's looking for a snowbell blossom. What's so peculiar about that?
Nothing, if it were anyone else asking. However, I think you'd agree that Benedict is not the type to go picking flowers on a whim. They say that when a snowbell blooms...
That moment is frozen in time.
Precisely. You and Benedict both never fail to surprise. But of all flowers, why the snowbell? Does he have some lady love I'm unaware of?
I can't speak to that, but I'll tell you one thing, Hewitt.
Thank you again, Formula.
We've all got moments locked away and placed
You are
close
green.
to our hearts.
Look at that. I forgot about that too. You got the little Zelda, little Link, the little Link holding his hand up.
You, me, even a stubborn-headed mule like Benedict.
I haven't touched that thing in a million years either, because most people just go through Twitch. So I forgot that existed as well. Maybe I should add one of my my Twitch, because I probably have some emoji slots available on the YouTube side, and I could add one of my fancy Twitch ones with Mr. Meowgie.
Like the snowbell, we want them frozen like that forever. And like the snowbell, they're liable to shatter if we let another handle them carelessly.
I understand. I apologize if I was too forward. Let us forget the matter.
Yeah, who who didn't grow up in the time of Paperboy and not play that game? That game is not that fun. Like, that's like an Atari game. It's a decent game for, that would be a good game on Atari. On Atari, even with like the visuals dumbed down, obviously, right? It would still be a pretty good game on Atari. Like, that was very common. Atari had lots of games where you had limited play space and you would just shoot things. But as a Nintendo game, it was like, meh. Meh. It was definitely not bad. It wasn't a bad game, but it was... meh.
No, it isn't you that needs to apologize. I'm always telling Benedict no one likes being lectured.
It was enlightening. I see you and Benedict are true friends.
For lack of a better word, aye. Bring me a draft of ale, and I'll tell you all about our younger days. At least
exactly
when I can
Meh.
remember. I recall Benedict wasn't nearly as capable as he is now.
I may have to take you up on that offer.
I think this is the most boring backstory for any character I've seen so far.
Do you really reckon snowbells are still blooming somewhere out there?
Maybe it's just I missed some dialogue and I'm not following it a whole 100%.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Though I've not seen them in this region. They may still bloom in the southern reaches.
In other words, a trek and a half from here.
I think I probably missed something. I was going on about Amazon packages and...
Don't give up the search, my friend.
Alright. It's unbelievable how many of these stories I unlocked. Let's see. Let's do another one of these, and we'll check another character soon. You never played Paperboy? Well, Paperboy was after your time. You're more of a Super Nintendo and
Whole day
Nintendo
of hunting,
64
and this is all
era,
I have
right?
to show for it. Wanted to give Lord Serenoa something meaty for once.
A deer is no easy prey. You are a skilled hunter.
One deer to your 3 boar? It's plain who the better of us is. I don't reckon you let a single one escape. Could be hunting is your true calling.
Perhaps. Before I was knighted, I was keeper of the Hawk's Roost. And besides, I come from a long line of hunters.
That's so. Then what drove you to fight men for a living?
It was in the arcade? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Now, if it came out, if that's a game that came out before Nintendo, dude, I can totally see that. I could totally see that being a good game for that time then. And I think it's an okay game for the time I played it on Nintendo. I want to see this. I'm gonna Google arcade Paperboy. Arcade Paperboy. Images. Oh, look at this. Why is it loading so slowly? My internet is screwed, guys. I can't share this with you. How am I able to stream right now? Okay. I think I'm going to restart my stream. Let me put that in chat. I'm going to restart my stream. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Something's definitely going on with my internet. I'm just do a quick reboot on this stuff. Like reset my browser and stuff.